My dad texted at 3 a.m., "Don't trust mom." 9 minutes later, we were fleeing through the night, and it was about to get worse. The phone screen burnt my eyes in the dark. 3 sentences that made no sense at first, but then made complete sense. My father had been on a 5-day business trip in Seattle, which he did once a month for his consulting firm. Always professional and predictable. He never texted beyond 10 p.m., never used urgent language, and never mentioned anything to concern us. This telegram contradicted all I knew about my meticulous, measured father, indicating that something had gone horribly wrong. I was 18 and responsible enough to see when people were exaggerating and when they were truly afraid. This text read like actual horror, compacted into 14 words. I pulled off my covers and grabbed clothing off the floor, putting on pants and a sweater while my mind struggled to figure out what "don't trust your mother" could possibly mean. Carol was downstairs in the living room where I'd left her an hour earlier, watching a crime documentary and sipping wine, as she did most nights, typical suburban mother behavior. There was nothing menacing or strange about this communication, but Brian would not send it without a purpose. And the specifics of snatching my sister and fleeing implied imminent danger, not psychotic delusions. I stuffed my feet into shoes and grabbed my backpack, dumping out the textbooks and replacing them with my laptop, phone charger, and the emergency cash I kept concealed in my desk drawer for reasons I'd never entirely explained. In my 20s, $350 suddenly seemed like the most valuable item I owned. My 14-year-old sister Emma slept soundly, unaffected by my frenzied movements in the adjacent room. I snuck down the hall and gently opened her door, cringing as the hinges squeaked. She lay covered in covers, only her dark hair visible, breathing in a steady beat of profound slumber. Waking her silently would be practically difficult, but waking her loudly would alert Carol below, and Brian's letter had made it clear that he did not trust her. I knelt alongside Emma's bed, putting my hand over her lips and shaking her shoulder. Her eyes widened in horror, and I felt her try to scream against my hand. I placed my finger to my lips and murmured into her ear, barely audible even in the quiet room. Brian transmitted an emergency message. "We need to go right now, without Carol knowing. I will explain everything once we are secure. But you have to believe me, and remain fully silent." Emma's eyes were wide with dread and bewilderment. But she nodded against my hand.